Welcome back to the Missouri Climate Center. My name is Naivo Chatzer. I'm a meteorology major at Mizzou and a social media specialist for the Missouri Climate Center. Last week we talked about Missouri's largest hailstone, and as the month of May is very notorious for severe weather, I thought it would only make sense to stick with that topic and talk about the tornado outbreak of May 2003. The days we are looking at for this tornado outbreak are April 30th through May 11th. Overall, the outbreak produced 401 confirmed tornadoes, but most of the severe activity occurred between May 4th and May 10th. This week saw more tornadoes than any other week-long span in recorded history, with 338 tornadoes occurring during this period. Damage caused by the outbreak amounted to $4.1 billion, or around $5.9 billion in 2021, making it the costliest U.S. tornado outbreak of the 2000s. During this severe weather outbreak, tornadoes rated EF2 and above on the Fujita scale were seen in 12 different states, but in this video we will be focusing mainly on the ones in Missouri
that occurred on May 4th.
We are going to be starting our story on May 4th at 8 a.m. when the National Weather Service's Storm Prediction Center updated their convective outlook for the day. This is a map that basically predicts where the highest possibility of severe weather will be. At this time, the entire west half of Missouri was underneath a high risk, with the tornado possibility at 25%. This means that any point within that area had a 25% chance of producing a tornado within 25 miles of it. Jumping into later that afternoon, the first tornado that would move into Missouri touched down in Leavenworth County, Kansas at 3:45 p.m. It crossed over the Missouri River and into Platte County, where 16 unfortunate homes experienced damage. This tornado produced EF1 damage at its maximum, and thankfully no one was hurt. Unfortunately, just 9 minutes after the first tornado began, a separate storm system produced the strongest tornado of the day just north of the Kansas Speedway. The tornado quickly grew in size and intensity, expanding to a width of over 500 yards. The tornado continued into the northeastern portions of Wyandotte County, where the twister produced EF4 damage near 79th Street and Carnish Road. 450-foot-tall metal power poles built to withstand winds in excess of 200 miles per hour were damaged there. The tornado remained damaging but weakened over the remainder of its path, causing EF1 to EF2 damage along the Missouri River across both Wyandotte County and Platte County in Missouri. The tornado crossed into Platte County near Riverside and Parkville, Missouri at around 4:30 p.m., where it caused damage over a narrower expanse of commercial areas. EF1 rated damage was observed after the tornado crossed Interstate 635 before lifting east of the highway at 4:42 p.m. in Clay County, Missouri. Overall, this EF4 tornado sadly killed 2 people and injured another 30. Communities in its path incurred a $47.5 million damage toll to property. A total of 83 buildings were destroyed and another 582 sustained damage. Soon after, a new circulation developed northeast of the first EF4 tornado and developed into another EF4 tornado that impacted the Gladstone, Missouri area between 4:45 and 5 p.m. Initial damage was to trees and roofs, with severity rated EF1. Intensification was quick after, with EF4 damage noted in the Carriage Hills subdivision. Roofs and windows were damaged, and business signs were destroyed. The tornado continued towards the northeast, causing EF1 to EF3 rated damage before dissipating near Interstate 435. The total damage amounted to $31 million, and 13 people were unfortunately injured. The final tornado in the Kansas City region on May 4th impacted Liberty, Missouri, and it was the costliest of those in the metropolitan area. Rated EF2, the tornado caused substantial damage to William Jewell College and at locals near downtown Liberty, before lifting around 5:15 p.m. over rural areas of Clay County. The most severe damage covered a swath that included eastern parts of the college campus and areas along Excelsior Springs Road, with the overall damage cost totaling $60 million. Moving away from the Kansas City area, at 5:31 p.m. a tornado began near Liberal, Missouri. As it moved northeast across Barton County, it uprooted numerous trees and produced EF1 damage to outbuildings. The tornado entered Cedar County and progressed north, where it destroyed a mobile home consistent with EF2 intensity. The tornado remained over generally rural areas and caused solely tree and power line damage prior to reaching the intersection of Highway Z and County Road 825. There, a well-built farm home and 2 nearby outbuildings were completely destroyed, with their debris scattered across the adjacent roadway. Damage at this location warranted an EF3 rating. Continuing northeast, the storm grew between 0.5 to 0.75 miles wide and entered downtown Stockton. In the city, 350 structures were demolished, while an additional 650 received minor damage. Numerous vehicles were flipped and tossed, including 2 cars from a local dealership which were blown approximately 1 block to the northeast of their original location. Damage was consistent with an upper end EF3 tornado here. Sadly, 3 people died in Stockton and 37 others were injured. Overall, this tornado outbreak produced over 50 confirmed tornadoes in the month of May in Missouri. In the aftermath of the May 4th tornadoes, Missouri Governor Bob Holden petitioned the government to declare a federal disaster for 39 counties. President George W. Bush later issued federal disaster declarations for Missouri, authorizing the allocation of federal disaster funds through the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA. People are still feeling the effects of these tornadoes today, so remember to stay safe this month and always stay informed when severe weather is possible in your area. Thank you for joining me today with this crazy and somewhat sad weather story. I hope you learned something new, and if you want to learn more from us, you can feel free to check out our other social media pages listed. Thank you for watching.